Okay, Jake, we're finally making it happen. The podcast. You've been, I don't know, you're on the top three or four guys I wanted to have on. Your time's been wacky. You travel a lot, I travel a lot, but here we are.
Yeah, it's about time. Yeah, thank you for having me on.
Yeah, we had a great catch up in Hamburg though, off the record. Just couple of blokes having a chat, right?
Yeah. I don't know what time that went on to in the morning, but yeah, it was after the race, wasn't it? So it was after the doubles, but I think no one could sleep. Everyone, had caffeine, and yeah, so it was good. It was good. I think it was in the lobby of the hotel, wasn't
Well, I had been up. Usually, I'm like the first one to bed. Like I'm not the party guy. So I started hanging out with, I forgot who I first was talking to, but then it just kind of became, it was one of those things where more and more people came, and then these I had posted, those guys brought like $100 worth of McDonald's, or McDonald's as you call it, and we were just like, I mean, it was, I was so happy I stayed up, because usually I don't. It must have been what was in the air, and then I stayed a few more days in Germany, and I loved it. It's like my new
it?
favorite place.
Yeah, it's a cool place. And yeah, beautiful city, Hamburg. Yeah, it's good. Have you just been? You've just travelled back from another fitness games event. Is that right?
Yes, this one was a short trip, couple hour flight back, leave on Friday, back on Sunday. So low stakes for that. So I was great. But I mean, we packed a lot in. I don't know if you saw some of the stories or some of the stuff.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It looked epic. How was it in person?
I wasn't sure, because there's so many stations that I wasn't sure. But the loads start to kind of decrease as you go, and the erg work decreases. But then there's that ground to overhead that's like the third to last station, which is just murder. Which,
We're talking about it. Like, is it called Lifetime Games?
yes, or the
Yeah,
LT
yeah,
games,
yeah.
they like to
LT
call it.
Games. Yeah,
But yes, I think it goes
yeah,
by either.
yeah. It's a little bit more complex than HYROX. It looks cool though. It looks really cool, and there was some big names there. I saw from the HYROX space and CrossFit space. I saw Noah
Yeah,
Olsen.
and I think they put it together pretty quickly. Like, I've been working with them for a few months, and we made some calls. They made some calls. Trying to get, obviously they want to get as much buzz as they can, um, and I think had Lauren not qualified for whatever reason, she might not have come, but of course she did, and so, um, but I still think she's in that rare elite, top of the elite 15 that would still do this. I think a lot of you guys, I'm saying you, are like, just, this is it. I'm only doing like a couple races and then the majors, and then, I mean, unless you're a lunatic like Charlie, but uh but don't leave to do other things, even if there's prize money, even if there's sponsor stuff. But Lauren's what we call a gamer. Like, Lauren's down, like, yep, okay, and
Nah,
then
it's
just
it's
like
cool.
blows
It's
everybody
cool.
away.
Yeah, it's really good that she's got that mentality because again, I get told off a little bit for doing saying yes to too much, and now I feel like I say no to a lot of things. But yeah, it's nice that there's someone else out there that's at the top of the game in HYROX, but is also saying yes to other things. Whether it is, last year she was down to do an ultra. I don't think she actually did it, but she was gonna run 100K. And then going into all these other fitness events, which obviously all help towards the end goal, but like they're not, as people would say, they're not locking in, or they're not being serious on HYROX. But like I say, you've got to live and enjoy life a little bit.
Well, and I'll say this, and this is like who she is as a person. We've known each other a long time, and I thought the night. So this is, you probably saw, like, it's a pretty posh gym, right? All mod cons, ridiculous, right? Pool, sauna, weight room, this room, that room, like the whole. It's massive, right? And so the Friday evening, I thought, the pros are going to get in, and they're not racing till the afternoon, so they'll probably take advantage of the facilities. Like, me and my buddy Matt Kemp were like, yeah, like, let's at least stretch and maybe get in the pool and like do some stuff. But the only people up there were me and my buddy Matt Kemp and Lauren. Like, Lauren got some time in the elliptical and then in the treadmill. But here's what I want to say is that I went for a run on the track, And every time I went by, she said, "Good job, Matt. Keep it going. Good job, Matt." And so it's like, that's who she is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she's not doing that because I'm going to say it here on the show. That's just who the fuck she is. So just want to say,
yeah, she's a great person. Yeah, she's a really good person. Every time I bump into her at any of these events, it's she's just great, and she genuinely cares about the people that she's chatting to, which is cool.
Super cool. So I don't know. I'm sure I asked you, but when I ask all the guys, like how did you grow up? Like a lot of you guys didn't necessarily run, but you just played sport, like a lot of football. What about you? I might have asked you this before, but I don't remember.
Yeah, I played like as you call soccer. So I played
Soccer.
So I played soccer growing up. Never any good. Like was okay, but just like standard Sunday league. Do you know a lot of people around here say, "Oh, do you know if I didn't break my leg, then I'd be playing for United." Yeah, that's not the case. Like do you know, I just enjoyed it. But I also did an athletics club on the side, so I ran like middle distance. The athletics club again wasn't any good, but I was kind of good enough to represent like my county. So Greater Manchester, I represented in kind of like the nationals, but that's the highest level that I got. I think 206 in the 800 meters, which by today's standard is not fast whatsoever. So yeah.
What do you like to run those Ks at for a HYROX?
Ks up for HYROX. I'm running between probably 3:30ish now. I've just ran Birmingham at the weekend. I felt good. I think it was because you could actually open up your legs because I can't remember the last time I just did 2 laps running around. An event where it was just 2 laps. So being able to actually spread your legs without turning was great. It felt completely different to Hamburg.
What are the top guys of the Elite 15? What are they pulling?
I think the top guys, the 320s. I think Tim is probably the strongest runner out there at the moment. I'd probably say. I think he's running 320s roughly. Like obviously, it's hard to judge course by course because you look at the data and sometimes it includes the rock zone, sometimes it doesn't. So you don't actually know what these Ks are. They're definitely not a kilometer. They're either a little bit more or a little bit less. So I think on the Birmingham one it says that I was running like 3 10-minute kilometers, but obviously I wasn't. I was just So yeah.
I think they've gotten pretty good at flattening the curve, right? Like
unless
definitely. You're doing the true one lapper, right? Unless you're doing Berlin, right? I think we're okay. It used to be such a complaint for us over here in America. We only had 3 or 4 races, and we had different sleds at first, and there was a lot of. But now I think we finally kind of flattened it all out.
No, I think the overall distance is it 8.7 kilometers?
That's what their claim is that if the course is shorter, then you make it up in the rock zone and vice versa.
Yeah, which I'm happy with. It doesn't matter to me. At the end of the day, you can only do what you can do on the course, and you can only race people that you're racing.
Well, Charlie and I had an interesting conversation the other day about volume versus intensity.
Yeah, I listened actually. I've been having a good couple of chats with Charlie since. Obviously, I got to race him at the weekend as well, which was fun.
Great dude.
Yeah, great guy. He deserves everything coming his way. Like he's got a lot coming. Obviously, so young and just so humble.
How much older are you than him?
I think he's only like 22. I think something like that. Yeah, he's young. So I'm 26 at the moment. So I'm old compared to him.
And so where do you fall?
I do about training hours 20 to 25 a week training hours. So going off that, I'd say I'm adapting better to doing more training volume at the moment. And I think the reason why is because I've not built that base. So going on from the conversation from last time with you and Charlie, you said there's this big long kind of stretch where intensity is at one side and volume's at the other. And, people sit along that line. And, you might see Alexander Ronkovic sitting towards the intensity side or Hunter sitting along the intensity side. He said before going into Chicago, he's only training 12 hours a week. That's what he said to me.
How is that possible? He posts more than that. He posts more than 20 hours of training a week.
But you've got to think these guys are one that they're almost 10 years older. They've built that volume over time. Like Alex has been a professional swimmer where he swam 3 to 4 hours every single day for 10 to 15 years. So he's built up that volume. Even Charlie, to an extent, being coming from almost a pro cyclist background, has done so many hours on that bike that I feel like they've built up this kind of volume and done that, which allows them just to do the intensity to get the performances that they want. I think everyone must go through that volume phase and that aerobic base building, but it takes years. Whereas intensity is kind of like a quick fix. You see results within 6 weeks if you're going flat out. But
can I still do that at age 53? Can I just go ham for 6 weeks? And
I think, but there is a line where then you either plateau or you get injured, and it's obviously a lot more high risk, and you've got to build to that. But like I said, the volume building is a lot safer, and then if you can do the volume building, which takes years and years and years, and then add the intensity block on top, then you're unbeatable. Then you're an Alexander Onkovic.
Oh, well, listen, I think I'm in good shape then, because I ran for 10 years where that's all I did. I didn't hit the gym at all. I just ran.
There we go.
So
was this back when it was bad for you to do both? It was bad to run and lift weights.
Well, Hunter was this anomaly, right? Because obstacle racers didn't think they needed to be that strong. It was about, can you run? Then it was like, can you climb? Can you descend? And can you have good grip? Like that was kind of it. And Spartan had these quote unquote heavy carries, but they got lighter and lighter. So someone like Hunter or Atkins, that was kind of a bigger dude, it didn't really have an advantage anymore. It was just about being fast. And again, can you take these half seconds off the obstacle times? Can you not walk before and after the obstacle? Can you run to it, jump on it, go, when others are like bringing their heart rate down just to do the obstacle, which takes 3 seconds, that kind of stuff. And Hunter was this guy who had this engine like nobody else. Like even the CrossFitters were in awe of what he could do. And it was like HYROX was the sport built for Hunter, right? And so
I actually was speaking to him the other day in Austin. He went to the F1, so I got to see him, and we did a training session together. And I tell you what, that guy can shift. He must be 10 kg heavier than me, and we were neck and neck all the way, like in this training session. And he can move so well. Even in this off season that he's on, where he's training for Murph, he's so fit. He's just there is no one like him. There is no one that I've come across that is like him.
So you came over. How many races do you get to go to a year?
How many?
F1 races.
F1, unfortunately. So I didn't actually have tickets. I didn't actually go to the F1. I just went out to Austin to train, and my nutrition sponsor BPN's out there. So I just went out there for a little bit of winter sun. Right now in the UK, it's literally dark all day and it's rainy. It's actually a storm outside right now. So Austin's a little bit nicer.
So I thought you said you were there for the race.
No, Hunter was there for the race. Yeah, Hunter. I think he was doing something with F1. Yeah.
Well, he did a post with steak.
Did he?
Yeah. So
wow.
I messaged him and I said, did you get a steak sponsorship? And he didn't quite give me a clear answer. Let's see if we can get the post here. Steak F1. I'm surprised you didn't see it.
No, I didn't see it. I don't know if it was through Puma at all, because obviously Puma sponsor quite a lot of the F1. Oh wow.
He's with Nico Hülkenberg.
Yeah, I think Puma set that up for them. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
But, yeah.
Cool. But do you typically go to like Silverstone and whatnot outside of this coaches camp that we talked about?
Yeah. So I didn't go this year. I had the luxury of going to Monaco last year, and
dude,
it was unbelievable. So Red Bull have like a hospitality at certain events. Not every F1. So I think they have one at like Monaco, they have one at Silverstone, they have one at Miami. But so if I can, I'll try and wangle my way in to one of them. But yeah, one a year I think is the max. Which it suits me because I'm not hugely into F1, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool going to them places.
Yeah,
Like,
I've never been to one. I've been to a couple of NASCAR races when I was young, and this was before cell phones, right? So I remember I went with my dad. My stepdad was a huge NASCAR fan. We're here in the South in Atlanta, just kind of a beer drinking NASCAR fan. And I remember going, and the race starts, and then at one point I'm just thinking like, all right, well, this is what we're gonna do now for 3 hours, right? Like, guys had radios back then, these old headphones like this. But other than that, you're just kind of sitting there. Like, again, like now I'm sure everyone's on their phone the whole time and looking at splits, and the data's insane. But no, I've never been to F1. I never watched F1. And then of course Drive to Survive came out, and I was like as hooked as anybody. And so I usually binge them like the day they come out in like 1 or 2 days. But I think it might have finally kind of peaked, because I remember this last season I was just like, all right, like we've kind of seen a lot of the same stories, right?
Yeah, I feel like every sport's doing it. Obviously, even HYROX did one to an extent, but obviously there was the Tour de France Unchained. They're all pretty cool. They're all pretty inspiring. I feel like I've watched every single one, whether it's the starting five or like the Last Dance, whatever it is. Every single sport, like I've been sat on the bike. Well,
you got to recommend to me, because I loved Six Nations. That was great.
Yeah.
And there were 2 seasons of that, or 1?
2, I think.
Yeah, and they stopped that one. I heard. I'm very bummed out. But so I don't think I care about the golf one, or every single team on Amazon. Like every single team has one, pretty much. Yeah. So which ones do you think are like at that level of like Six Nations and Drive to Survive? Not just killing time on the bike.
No. I think if you're actually genuinely like an endurance nerd, the Tour de France Unchained is pretty cool, because obviously you see the life of elite cyclists, which to me, like they're kind of like the pinnacle of endurance sports. They're the ones pushing the boundaries. I know everyone's pushing the boundaries, but you know what I mean in terms of like the altitude and the heat training and all the little things that matter. Yeah. So all right, that's the one I'd say. But it's pretty nerdy, like But like I say, I'm a nerd, so.
I can get nerdy with fitness stuff sometimes. I like to learn. You know what I mean? Like I knew nothing about rugby, and then I watched Six Nations, and now I know about that kind of rugby. But I know there's another kind.
Rugby league, yeah, that's from where I'm up north.
Actually, I went to one. Ian K took me to a match, so I learned about that one a little bit too. That was fun. Oh, I think my wife's cooking something.
Is that not your dishwasher or your dryer?
I think it could be the dryer. This should play a game, right? Which appliance is this? I'm going to go with dryer, because our dishwasher is very old. We need a new one. Yeah, but it also could be like the rice maker, right?
So the rice maker sings to you.
Do you have a rice maker, Jake?
I don't have a rice maker. Maker. So how does that work?
It's bloody brilliant. You drop it in, and then in like 20 minutes, you have cooked rice.
So we just have a microwave and like rice, and you pop a hole in it, and then you.
No, I do that stuff too. I do that as well. But if you're eating slightly better, right? You don't want the processed kind, right? Put a piece of chicken in the air fryer, right? For dummies like me, because I can't properly, cook or bake a chicken. And then the little rice thing, and then boom, there you go, instant meal. Add some veg.
Yeah, some greens.
Yeah. When you go to events, so Americans, we always hit like the Whole Foods, which is like our fancy grocery store in every town. Do you pack and bring everything, or do you forage when you get to these different towns?
Just my supplements. That's the only thing that I kind of like bring. So like, I'll I'll bring, like, for example, creatine monohydrate, or I'll bring my bicarb that I'm going to have for the race. So things that I know that I can get, but like I just, yeah, they just fit in my bag, and yeah, electrolytes, stuff like that. Just stuff that I take daily, just so I don't have, because if you think about it, like when you go to the US, especially the US, if you was to take no supplements and then you just wanted your kind of like daily stack of supplements, so you wanted a multivitamin, you wanted your creatine, you wanted maybe you take a zinc for kind of like a not getting ill, or whatever, and you buy all these things, like that's $300 straight away. Like, do you know, because you can't just buy like one serving, or like, do you know, a serving for your trip. You've got to buy a big tub or whatever. So like it gets expensive. So I like to bring my supplements, and then everything else I'll just go to, like, say, Whole Foods. I think in Texas they had HEB. I don't know if they have that anywhere else.
We don't have it here. I've only
there.
seen it when I've gone to Texas. We don't have that here.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Where else? But I like the supermarkets in the US. Yeah, I think they're cool.
I know that usually the Euros and the UK are just impressed with the size of everything that we have.
Yeah, but I think that's changing. I feel like it's becoming normal. Like, we're becoming more Americanized over here. Like, you know, everything that I think, was it Walmart bought Asda?
Yes.
Yeah. So since then, obviously, we don't sell guns, but we sell everything else. that's the only thing. That's the only difference. I don't know if Walmart does actually sell guns or not. I'm not got a clue.
I think they still do. I don't think they sell bullets anymore, but they still sell guns.
Right, okay.
I don't remember. I don't own either. But I bet down in Texas they fire. Did you fire any guns when you were in Austin? They love their guns down there.
Yeah, we actually did. Yeah, we only tried pistols. We've not tried any big guns yet, but yeah, just pistols. Yeah.
When did you sign with BPN?
Signed with BPM early this year, so it was April this year. I just think they're a really cool brand. I feel like the products are good. Like, they've only, so I came from another brand, and they had 4,000 SKUs, which, like, who needs 4,000 supplements? Like, BPN have got a line of like 7 supplements. So they've got, for example, they've got a protein, they've got omega-3, they've got an endurance product, they've got electrolyte, and that's kind of it. That's it. So it tastes great, and that's it. Like, it's everything that I need, and that's it. And it's all tested. Obviously, like, that's important. That's really important that everything is tested. So yeah, it's cool. The only thing that bugs me is it's not in the UK yet. That's the only thing.
Is the other brand, does it rhyme with Shmai Shmoshmeen?
Yeah. I just feel like if you're doing 4,000 SKUs, you can't put 100% into every SKU.
Listen.
That's the only thing that I can say.
When Chef Ramsay, one of your greatest exports, when he goes to a restaurant, right? That's one of the first things he always does. He's like, you got too many things on the menu. You need to make 30 things really well, right? 10 things, right? Like, this is what you need. Get rid of all these fucking SKUs. That's like that's any business. I think that's the best way to go, right?
Yeah. I feel like you should go into managing businesses and giving advice.
I mean, clearly.
Be a consultant, yeah.
So you went down there, and who else? Rich? Who else was down there?
Rich was down there. Austin's just got a great kind of like HYROX community. They've got quite a few gyms. So they've got, I think it's called Correct now, which used to be On It Gym. So it's a gym that kind of like Lance Armstrong trains out of. But they've got like a huge HYROX community, probably 200-300 people. And yeah, it's just pretty sick. They're all training for Dallas at the moment, which is in a couple of weeks. So it was good just to kind of get out there, train with people. They've got a kind of like a really good running group out there as well. That's the session that me and Hunter went on. But yeah, I think there's a 2:16 marathoner there. Like, yeah, so it's they're pretty quick.
Did they want you to wear a Go One More hat? And you're like, listen, I can't. I'm not going to not wear a Red Bull hat.
Well, this thing's glued to my head, as you know.
Right, I do. I've never not seen you. I don't even know what your head looks like.
It's a mystery. I could have an afro under here. Like I say, I think I actually talked to you about this in person, but I feel like when you're representing a cool brand. You want to show it off. You feel proud to kind of like wear the stuff. Red Bull helps athletes so much, which no one really sees. You just think, oh, it's an energy drink and that's it. But the level that they go to for their athletes is unmatched by any brand in the world. So it's pretty cool.
So you are going where next?
I'm actually going to race this week. So I'm going to go to Stuttgart and race. I don't really need to, but they've brought in they made the change, didn't they? Saying that, am I right in thinking that HYROX have said prior to September, none of the races count towards Arizona? Is that correct?
It was correct for about 12 hours, and then they said, go get your license in Birmingham, and everything will count from then on, because before then you're fine.
Okay, so
now if you race tomorrow without a license, it doesn't count. However, you have one because you already raced in the Elite 15, so you already have one.
Yeah, I think I had a license like before Chicago, I think, but I don't know when they came out, but I signed it straight away. But say for example, I'm going to Arizona. My two fastest times at the moment are Birmingham from the weekend and Glasgow back from March. The Glasgow one's not going to count. Is that correct?
Is it more than a year away?
No, it's not more than a year. It was March.
Then you're fine. Then you're fine.
All right. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, they, like I said, for about 12 to 24 hours from Perth in the beginning of September until now was going to not count, and it was like, what? So they went back on it. So they fixed it.
Okay. Cool.
But like I said, you're fine. But there were a lot of people who weren't, who hadn't got one yet, because they were told, get one to race in the Elite 15, not get one or your race doesn't count. Yeah, let's have a peek where you are on the leaderboard, shall we?
Yeah, hopefully it's been updated.
I feel like it's been pretty quick. Like last year, maybe not, but last year pretty quick. Let's see. What do we want here? Rankings, race results, current and live, upcoming. Hang on. They did change around the site.
Yeah, it's not been updated yet. So I'm still 16th place, but myself and Sean Noble both got pretty decent times at the weekend. So we both got 55s. I think he got a 55.04 and I got 55.16. So that's brought our averages down. So hopefully I think we're kind of like 10th and 11th, maybe. 10th
so you're not racing in Australia?
So that means that we'll be racing in Australia. So 10th and 11th in the solo. So yeah, we'll be going to Australia. Yeah.
All right. So here we go. You are, you're 16th currently. So what was your time?
55.16.
So a 55.16 and a 55.44 puts you at what, 55.30? So that puts you between, I would say, Thomas DeVerdick and Charlie, but Charlie improved as well, right?
Yeah. Charlie got a better time, and like I say, Sean got a better time. So we're all comfortably in now, roughly. Obviously, there's quite a few races. Is there 3 more weekends of racing before the cut-off?
Let's have a look. Luckily, I keep track of this stuff. We have got Stuttgart, Atlanta, Mexico City, Seoul, Dublin. There's a lot of races.
Yeah, there's a lot of races, but I think it's 3 weeks though, because I feel like it's
Melbourne is December 11th and 14th.
Yeah, so the cutoff is the 21st. I think that's what they said.
That's different than before. It used to be 2 weeks. That's 3 weeks.
Is it 2 weeks? Right. Okay. Maybe it's that weekend then. So
if it's 2 weeks, the last races would be Utrecht, Madrid, and Rio, because London is the week before.
Okay.
So there's like 10 more races. I mean, you're not going to get one in Mexico City, right?
No. So I'm going to go to Stuttgart, try and put down a decent time there, and then that'll probably be me until Melbourne.
So you're going to have a lot of Americans, Dallas and Chicago, coming up here in a few weeks. Some are coming this weekend to Atlanta, where I live. But November 15th, 16th is Chicago, and 21, 23 is Dallas. So that's going to be a lot of Americans trying to get in there. And I suppose a lot of couples too.
Yeah. But are you going over to Melbourne?
I am a no for Melbourne, but I definitely will be in Phoenix. mate, I can't do it. I'd like to get to an Australian major next year, maybe. But I'll be in Phoenix for sure, and I plan on being in Poland. So,
Yeah,
isn't there another? Cool. Isn't there another one in Poland, or what am I thinking of? What's the other race?
Warsaw, yeah, I think it is.
So
so that's Poland, and then obviously we've got the last chance regional qualifiers.
Yeah, so I'll be at that in DC. That's been like our championship, like every year, the Open Championship, whatever you call it.
Yeah. No, it's cool.
I can't believe how many races there are. It's just so nuts.
How many are there this year? Do you know? Have you looked at the kind of like figures overall?
Well, they said over 100. Last year was 79 if you include the world champs. So this year they're saying 100. I'm looking at what looks like about 60 that goes up to May, but they'll be adding more.
Yeah, it's crazy. And some of them are 5-day weeks. Is London going to be 9 days? Is that true? Is that correct?
Listen, I mean, they're putting a stake in the ground, I guess, saying we're 9-day events. I mean, I think they just did 5 days in Paris and in Birmingham.
Yeah, wow.
How crowded?
Insane.
How crowded was it over there?
I think it was full for kind of like the days, but it's a big course. Birmingham's always like it's really spacious. It's done in the NEC, which is probably the UK's biggest venue.
Right, I've been there.
Oh well, it can't be actually because London's going to be one lapper, so it's not. When is that? When's the one lapper? Is that December?
Yeah, so that is that's right before the major.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
London Excel. So is Excel is bigger than the NEC?
I think they're just going to open up more doors. So like they cut it off, and I don't know how it works, but they've just got huge buildings. But I think the last time the XL they only used half, and then they have kind of like shutters that go across. So it looks like it's all just one room, but it's effectively 2 rooms.
Yeah, I'm guessing they just, like I said, I think they want to make some sort of statement, and maybe there'll be extra stuff there for Puma. I don't know. I was kind of shocked to see it.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be really cool. I'm excited to for where HYROX is going. Hopefully they get the Olympic call up. I know that's a lot of people think it's not going to happen. A lot of people think it's going to happen. I'm in the boat of I hope it happens. Obviously, who doesn't want to be an Olympic athlete?
It would be super cool to be an Olympic athlete, except HYROX, you'd have to call it fitness race, right? Like, and then you'd have to decide what stations it would be, and you know what I mean? Like, it can't be the HYROX race.
Yeah, I suppose. Well, we'll see.
I mean, short of being an Olympic athlete, you still, you get to represent your country pretty well for these things. I mean, these majors, they're really, that Germany was, every time I think like, oh, wow, this is next level, they go next level again.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I hate how everyone slags HYROX off because they're doing such an amazing job. And like every year, like you say, levels up, gets better and better. Everyone was saying, "Oh, the sleds are heavy. The sleds are going to be heavy. That's what they're meant to be heavy. That is something that you're pushing, and it's meant to slow you down. Like, it's they're doing an incredible job, and I feel like people just like to moan about the kind of like really minor stuff.
Yeah, it's still too new in America to get the backlash, but you guys are definitely experiencing the backlash. And that's what happens when something gets big. I mean, if you look at the biggest cable company, right, of in America, it's like Comcast, or the biggest phone company, Verizon, they have the most complaints because they're the biggest company, right? They probably have the most 5-star reviews. And if you Google who has the biggest negative complaints, it's like, oh, well, the company that has all the customers. So it's like, you know what I mean? So I think they do a lot of things right. I defend them quite often when people bitch about this, that, and the other. They certainly do some stuff that's wacky that I don't understand. But usually they do. I think, a heck of a lot of things right. And like I said, it's been bigger over there longer. I saw a post yesterday where people talking about the sleds, and thankfully most of the comments were like, it's a user error. Like, you can't lift up the back. Like, a lot of guys do that. And so it drives the sled into the ground.
Front end, it drives it. It definitely is. Since the change of carpets, it's definitely, you have to keep the full sled flat on the ground, and it kind of moves a little bit better. So you've also almost got to push it and push down as well, like into the sled, and use your weight that way. But let's say if you practice it, and they're coming up with these HYROX performance centers. I don't know if you've seen these yet. I don't know if there's going to be any launching in the US, but I think there's quite a few launching in the UK where center are actually just turfing out the entire gym with the turf that is used on the day.
I think you can already buy, like, they released that at World Champs. Like, you can buy the sleds.
To be fair, so there's no excuses really, but it's cool. I love where the sport's going. And like I say, I'm so excited to still be within the Elite 15 and try and progress in that field. It's a stacked field though. It's getting better and better.
Yeah, I just want to say, last thing on the sleds, you've got to get low and you got to hinge well. That's the deal.
Yeah.
By the way, I do neither of those things well. I'm trying to get more limber and hinge better and all those things, but like guys are just big and strong and just try to muscle it, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah, and I'm saying it like I'm the best at sleds. I'm nowhere near the best at sleds. So, you know, it is technique.
What are you the best at, Jake?
Right now, nothing. But I'm trying to get better. I think my strongest stations at the moment. I feel like I'm getting stronger at running. I feel like I am progressing in that area quite a lot. My ergs are okay. My sleds. I'm not the strongest person out there. But I could say I'm pretty decent at farmer's carry. I think I'd match anyone at farmer's carry, which I think I'm just used to carrying my girlfriend's shopping bags around.
Who are you going to race doubles with?
JK again. We've created a great relationship, and I'm excited to keep that going.
Because you have 3 or 4 times, right?
I only have 2 times, so 2 times in kind of like the Elite 15 standing, which is Jake Williamson and James Kelly. Jake Williamson's got a lot of times in there. I know that.
He's a bit of a slut, that guy. Let's be honest.
Oh, I don't think you can say that. You're gonna have to sense that out.
He knows how much I love him.
Yeah, I feel like the doubles is his thing though.
That's why I get confused, because you've got James Kelly, Jake Dearden, Jake Williamson. It's very confusing. Yeah. So if you look at 7, let's see, this is what it says right now. 7, 9, 10, 11, and 14 all have a Jake or a James, and some both. So there's a lot that's why it's so confusing.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know actually. Where are me and James Kelly on that list?
Let's see.
I was just thinking this. We might have to race again.
James Kelly and Jake Dearden currently 50.04.
50.04, which puts us in the rankings. Number 9 in the rankings. Ooh.
That's from Melbourne. Let's see if you move up or down.
I think we might have to. Obviously, we're going to race in Melbourne, so we'll try and get that down. We might have to do another race just to secure that, which should be fun. Yeah,
you guys are way down. You're 14th for Phoenix, but we got a ways to go for that.
Okay.
All right, man. Well, listen, I'm glad we got to catch up officially and do this.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Thank you, Matt.
It is Halloween weekend. Do you have any plans?
Apart from going to Stuttgart and racing, that's it. Yeah, I don't know. What are you doing? Have you got any Halloween parties? We don't really celebrate it as much as you do, I don't think. I think
I just
it's a
gave us
lot
a
bigger in the
great
US.
Halloween font there. I should have kept that the whole time. So my kids have kind of just aged out of it. So my youngest is 12 and my other son is 16. When they're like 13, 14, they don't trick or treat anymore, but they kind of get together with their friends at a park maybe and do something. So I think this might be the first year. Actually, my wife, I think, will
Do
take my,
they? Do they in the US? Do they go egging?
when I was in high school, we definitely egged people. That was the thing. We would
Yeah.
egg people, and they would call TP. You toilet paper somebody's house. You throw rolls of toilet paper in the trees, which happened to my house when I was a young man. And I later found out who did it. Like 15 years later, it was a friend of mine. He's like, "Oh yeah, that was us that did that to your house." But I wonder if they go egging anymore. Great question for the listeners. Do your kids egg other people's houses?
Well, that used to be our kind of like Halloween tradition, going egging.
What about mailbox baseball?
Oh well, we don't. It'd be cricket over here,
Right,
and we don't
right.
have mailboxes. I don't think. Yeah, we have letterboxes. So
Yeah, you have a lot of stone metal boxes. So yeah, it's made famous in Stand By Me, where the guys are driving by and
yeah,
playing
yeah.
mailbox baseball. But we did that a couple times.
Does it
We
actually
did a lot
work? Do
of
they
really
actually come
stupid
off? Do
things.
they actually come off if you hit them
I
hard?
mean, you got to swing.
Yeah,
You've got
yeah. I
to
bet.
really swing to get it to come
I bet they
off.
make it easier in the films. Like
No, for
they look pretty
sure.
sturdy. Yeah, they look
But I
like
did some.
really.
Listen, I did some horrible things as a young man. Like this is. I'm going to make my sons. You want to hear something really old, Jake? Are you aware that in the 80s, the rappers would wear like a big medallion? Like they would wear like a Mercedes sign, or like Flavor Flav had the clock. So my friends and I definitely broke a couple of Mercedes signs off of people's cars and then made necklaces out of it or hung it in our locker. And I remember once I cut my hand open really bad because I was like bending, because it's on like a little pivot thing,
Yeah.
and it snapped and I was bleeding. And I remember like, what am I going to tell my mom? What am I going to tell my mom? What am I going to tell my mom? Right. So I have to make an amends for that, but I don't know where that guy is. So I'll just
Yeah, it's not. It's not very nice. Kids are
no. I did
ruthless.
a lot of stupid things when I was a kid.
Yeah, yeah. Kids are ruthless. So yeah, but it's all part of growing up. No, thank you, Matt, for this. I appreciate it. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween to you, my friend.